if social media died tomorrow, are you telling me that you would quit? So if you're an artist and you feel like you're doing all this art and spending all this time and you're not getting the results, you're not getting the views, you're not getting the money, you're not getting the exposure, and you start wondering, should I quit? Then this video is for you. Welcome back to Propaganda, my channel. My name is Simon. I'm an artist. I do a lot of abstract. I do a lot of drawing. And I've been working on my next art show. So I've been really busy and honestly maybe too busy to make videos. But there's something I want to talk about. And I guess I want to talk about it because it's something that is something I'm going through right now. And I know a lot of other artists are going through right now. Especially because things are slow. Especially because there's so much going on in the world. And you guys start wondering what you're doing with your life. But you know what you're doing with your life. So, the thing that I want to tackle today is the part where you psychologically start going through the why am I doing art? And how to get through the stage of feeling like all the work you're putting into it is going nowhere. So if you're an artist and you feel like you're doing all this art and spending all this time and you're not getting the results, you're not getting the views, you're not getting the money, you're not getting the exposure, and you start wondering, should I quit? Then this video is for you. So I've been making art for about 10 years-ish. Well, I've been making art my whole life, but I committed to it 10 years ago. And in that 10 years, I've had some great years. And then I went full time, which was just the craziest idea of all time, and probably artistically one of the best because I made so much art in that time, sold enough, and then I got a job. And I guess now that I have a job, I look at my time differently because I spend my evenings and weekends creating art, and because you're now back in the typical world of time for money, you start weighting the time you're spending on art because you feel like maybe you could spend that time making money, which is, I think, naturally, I think if you're interested, nothing wrong with making money, having a better life, traveling, buying nice things. That's okay. But when you're an artist and deep down you know that this is what you're supposed to be doing and what you want to do, it becomes challenging. And just the last few days, I've been going through this a lot because I'm now finishing the 8th painting of the show. It's supposed to be 11. Will we get to 11? I have no idea. It's now getting closer to summertime. And because I've been focusing on this, I haven't sold anything in a while because I've been so busy producing. And I started thinking, should I just stop making art? Should I quit? Like, what's the point of doing this? And a couple of things happened to me in the last 24 hours, which prompted why I want to make this video. One is I actually have two personas. I have this guy over here, and then I have this guy over here. And I love making these. And these are my F1 posters. I've made about 30 or so of these. I do this because I love making them. I love looking at them. I love the sport. And this just feels right to me. Like something about this connects. I think they're going to get better. I don't care if they do. And the F1 season just started, and I just released a new one of these. And that prompted me, and I wasn't just going to do one for the year and be like, hey, I'm going to focus on painting. But this one sparked the desire to make more. And I spent today drawing 3 more for the year. So it's going to be Monaco, it's going to be Japan, it's going to be Canada. And I looked at the sketches, and I'm like, these are going to be good. Therefore, these are worth doing. I didn't think, I'll sell these. I didn't think, I'll get more followers. I said to myself, these are going to be good. The art. I'm going to enjoy making and looking at the art. And I think that is so crucial when you think about why you make art. And then I listened to a Seth Godin podcast, which whenever I feel down, I listen to Seth because Seth is the greatest. And Seth has this I don't even know if he's pro making art for the sake of making art, but he's pro doing something good for the sake of doing something good and not doing it because you want to make sales. And I have this opinion that there's too many people creating a brand these days. And it's everyone just wants to order off Alibaba, buy a bunch of X, brand it, and become a brand. And that's like the new mission. It's not to like produce something and then sell it. And this is not everyone. And I don't knock anyone that wants to do this. This is my personal view. And he's just against it. He's like, make something good and then sell the thing that you love and that people think is awesome and that didn't exist before. I think art is included in that. And that got me thinking a lot more about painting and the process of crafting something and the artist touch involved in making something, which tied me back to my last point, is that if you really love making something, are you only going to do it if you get likes? And I think, not to take a shot at anyone, because I don't know that many other artists, but there's a point where I think some people start making art for the likes and the follow. And they see a couple of artists blowing up, they're probably making decent ad revenue, so they're like, oh, okay, I'm going to be an artist because I can get ad revenue. And, some of those artists don't make great art. And, like, obviously it's subjective, but there's a point where I think some people just get the algorithm hack down, which, that's how it is. That's what people want to see. Nothing wrong with that. And that might work. But I think as an artist, if you're watching this, if you actually are watching this video, you got to ask yourself, am I doing this because I want likes? Is that really why I do this? Like, if I'm sitting somewhere and there's a piece of paper and a pen and there's no one around and I have to sit around for the next couple hours and I start drawing, am I doing that drawing for likes? Am I doing that drawing because I want to sell it? Or are you just drawing because you kind of love it? Do you sit in your studio on the weekend and paint because you want the social media hits? There's faster ways to grow on social media. You can just dance. You can shake your butt. You can make jokes. But that isn't what it's about. Right? And then you want to talk about sales. Like, everyone that signs up to be an artist knows that art sales are hard. And they're harder when it's slow, and it's harder when you're focusing on selling your art. Like, yes, there's obviously a balance between marketing and trying to be around, but there's also, if you only make art for the likes so you can sell something, isn't that a formula that everyone else can copy? And isn't that therefore never going to get you to feel the love forever? So if you're an artist and you're in a rut, maybe think about what you're doing this for. It's always discouraging not getting views on social media. It is. I'm not going to lie. I hate it too. However, if social media died tomorrow, are you telling me that you would quit? Are you telling me that you would just never make art again because no one would see it? Or would you just keep making art and maybe show some people another way? And that's a whole other discussion. It's like, there's artists that don't have social media that sell lots of art that don't get likes. This is a terrible example, but I don't think Jeff Koons actually has an active social media. And like, that's a different world of an example, but like, that's not totally irrelevant. So if you're an artist and you're struggling, but why are you making art? Ask yourself that actual question. Why are you making art? Like, are you doing it just because you're trying to make a quick buck? Is this a side hustle? Is this a have you referred to your art as passive income? If you've called your art passive income, I would debate whether or not you're going to have the wherewithal to keep this going for the next 20, 30 years. But if your answer is like, I love art, I can't stop making art, I have a weird addiction, anything that just seems kind of psychotic, then you're probably doing the right thing. If the answer is only because I love art, that is a better answer than I'm trying to build a second income stream or anything like that. So I'm going to keep making art. I'm obviously going to juggle my life and this channel, which is just like an outlet, and this next art show, which I guess I'll do an update on what's going on soon. But if you really love making art, then just don't worry about it. Just make it. Try to find other artists, connect with them, share your art, get inspired. And maybe it's not today, maybe it's not tomorrow, maybe it's never. But if you love doing it, then it doesn't matter what happens. Good luck.